This morning, the DA leadership, its candidates as well as supporters are meeting at the Cape Town Civic Centre. To tell us more is SABC News reporter Lulama Matya. Lulama, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Where exactly are you and what's expected to happen today?
Good morning, Simpiwe. Yes, I am at the Cape Town Civic Centre. The DA top leadership is meeting here today, as you have said in the intro, to intensify its campaign ahead of the 1st November local government elections. But to tell us more about today's event, I am joined by the DA spokesperson, national spokesperson Civic, who is going to tell us more about what they are going to do today. What is it exactly that their campaign includes when in the run-up to the local government election? Good morning, Siviwe.
Good morning, Lulama, and good morning to viewers.
Tell us why the DA is here today.
Look, we are here today to be able to showcase to South Africans what we call the second phase of our election campaign. As you know, we are about less than 30 days to the election campaign, which is on the 1st of November. And we essentially are launching today a series of TV adverts that will be flighting as of tomorrow, number one. And secondly, we are also going to be intensifying, as we have launched our manifesto last weekend. We're showcasing to South Africans that not only have we launched our offer, but now we're saying this is the last stretch, this is the home run until the 1st of November.
Yes. Siviwe, tell us, what are your targets for this election? The previous election, you managed to control, to rule 3 metros in the country, although it was through coalitions. What are your targets this time around?
Look, I mean, we are obviously targeting 5 key metros in the country. Number one, we are hoping to govern NMB, and we would like to, with these metros, particularly Lulama, we are going into this election with saying to South Africans, give us a full majority so we can show you what we can do in the next 5 years. What we don't want, we're saying that we're not going to, it's not to say that we will not entertain coalitions. We will, because of course coalitions have a place in our constitutional democracy. However, we are pleading with South Africans to say, give us a full majority so we can showcase what we can do in 5 years. So we are hoping to govern in a complete majority NMB. We are targeting Tshwane, we are targeting the city of Johannesburg, we are targeting some municipalities in KZN, and of course we are wanting to retain the city of Cape Town with the majority that we've had.
Your slogan for this election is that the DA gets things done. But Siviwe, if you're talking to, in fact, for instance, here in Cape Town, if you're talking to people in the townships, they will say the DA is not delivering for us. It only delivers for people who are living in suburbs. What would you say to that?
Look, Lulama, I mean, I think if we, for instance, our manifesto, what it is a record of our delivery. And again, where we govern is a commitment to do more. It would be completely complacent of us to simply say we govern and we govern well because we say we govern better than the ANC. The ANC is not the standard. The standard is the lived experiences of the people who experience our services. And so, as you say, we've governed and we've governed well. And I mean, in the city of Cape Town in particular, it's not just us who say this, it's independent indices across the country. However, there is room to improve. It would be naive entirely to say to people we are perfect. We are not perfect, and there is room to improve. We want to keep communities safe. We want to ramp up housing in the city of Cape Town. And that's why we're saying to the people of Cape Town that we don't take your vote for granted. Lend us your vote again, and we will be able to showcase what we can do in terms of ramping up delivery.
You going to this election, Siviwe, having lost some of the senior members in the party. The DA in the previous national election dropped numbers. As a result, some of the senior leaders of the party resigned from the party. Do you think going to this election, you will manage to double up or even triple your numbers?
Look, I mean, like as I said, I mean, no political party goes into an election with a spirit of losing. We are hoping that we will be able to showcase what we've been able to do in places where we govern, places like Midval, places like we've been here in NMB, to showcase to South Africans, look, this is what we can do. It is remarkably different from what the ANC is able to do. And so we are saying from any other party is able to do. And so we are truly hoping that South Africans will lend us their votes again. And again, like as I said, we've got ambitious targets of winning metros in full. And so we're not going into this election with the spirit of losing. We are hoping that our record in delivery will be able to be a big swaying factor for South Africans.
Tell us about your internal polls, which have shown that the party has recovered from the resignation and the after effects of the people or senior party members who have left the party.
Look, Lulama, I mean, I think there is space to be able to say, look, I mean, it has been an incredibly difficult 2 years for the Democratic Alliance since the 2019 elections. It would be naive to not recognize that. However, the party has gone through a process of recovery. As you will remember, we launched we had our policy conference. We elected a new leadership. And so all of these things are in an effort to try and rebuild the party, because of course we want to be able to, we're going to this election united so that we may be able to say to South Africans, yes, we've had our fair share of problems. However, this is what we do when you introspect, you rebuild, and you move forward.
Talking about introspection, the previous leadership of the party, the previous local government election, there was a poster circulating on social media where it showed the previous leadership of the party, former DA parliamentary leader Lindiwe Mazibuko, the now Minister of Public Works, Patricia de Lille, who became the mayor of Cape Town, and Helen Zille. But now things have changed. The poster is John Steenhuisen, who's the party leader, Jordan Hill-Lewis, the mayoral candidate, as well as the Premier Ellen Wendy. Some people are saying the party, instead of endorsing transformation and going forward, it has regressed. What would you say to that?
I would say absolutely not, Lulama. I think firstly we've got to acknowledge that the Democratic Alliance is the only political party in South Africa that's seeking to do something which is incredibly difficult, which is to say we're bringing all South Africans under one political party, a liberal organization that seeks to occupy the sensible center. That's something that a lot of the political parties have long, building a non-racial South Africa is something that other political parties have long abandoned. And so we're trying to do something incredibly difficult. And so that's the one thing. And then the second thing is that we've got an incredibly rigorous candidate selection process where, for instance, as you mentioned, the mayoral candidate who will be here a little bit later, Jordan Hill-Lewis, that entire candidate selection process is rigorous, and it looks at people based on merit. And that is the candidate that was chosen to be able to take our city, our offer of the city. So I don't think that it's fair to say that there's been a regression. Of course, there's been leaders. Patricia de Lille is no longer part of the Democratic Alliance. Lindiwe Mazibuko long left the Democratic Alliance. And so these are people, yes, people have left the Democratic Alliance, but I think it would be unfair to say that on the basis of those individuals that have left, that the DA is somehow regressing in its commitment to building a non-racial South Africa. I do think that is an unfair assessment.
Thank you very much for your time, Siviwe. That was the DA national spokesperson, Siviwe Gwahube. Back to you at the studio.
All right, Lulama, thank you so much for joining us and for your update. Lulama Matya, they speaking to us live from Cape Town.